So, Karl and all the lovely folks at home, what is your favourite character from Game of the Year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33?
Oh, it's easy, Lune.
I mean, yeah, I don't know many people that don't just immediately go as Lune.
We always said the future of Lumiere is more important than
any individual life, yes.
Do you still believe that?
Oh, she's such a good character. Just the design. The voice acting, the look. We don't know the fact the character is very attractive, but just...
Yes.
She's also just a great character.
And loves to get those dogs out.
I'm not too into that.
I'm not saying I'm into it, I'm just pointing out.
Right, folks at home, you heard it here first. Lucas likes feet.
There's no problem with that. I'm not going to
join our Discord and join Lucas's feet pick as the secret Discord option.
The secret, £100
Can we call it Lucas's doghouse?
We're not making it a real thing.
Can we create Lucas's doghouse and be able to submit pictures of their feet?
No. Oh. Anyway, we're not talking about Lune today or her dogs. We are talking about one of the main protagonists, Verso.
I don't know why that's tickled me so much. Because we've recorded for about 6 hours already, and I think that's just broke me.
Karl's just broken at this point.
Lucas's doghouse. Oh. Okay, so why are we talking about Verso today, mon frère?
Well, we're not actually really talking about Verso. It's Wiki Weekends. We bring up a wiki to generally discuss, the, things within the Wikipedia page, or just general things around that topic, and it's going to be one of those episodes, folks, because this is basically going to be an excuse to talk about what people voted on a Patreon for me to talk about, which was Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and yes, we're going to do spoilers, so unless you've finished the game, or you're 100% sure that you're not going to play the game, I'd recommend maybe going and looking for the podcast of us doing non-spoiler talk on Clair Obscur instead.
Yeah, so I'm going to just repeat the review we gave of Expedition 33 in that podcast, which is, I enjoyed the game so much, I would not want to say anything that could be remotely considered a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Play the game, and then listen to us talk about it. It's one of those rare pieces of media where the only review I can give is fucking play it.
Yeah, multiple times I recommended this to Karl, and all I had to say was, the game is great. I don't want to tell you anything else. Please just go play that game.
Okay, but since we are going full spoilers, Lucas, I need to know, which ending did you pick?
Oh no, Karl.
Audience at home, same question. And as well, please, provide your justification for picking the ending.
I, at the end of the game, got to the point where I was like, okay, I am playing as Mael. And I chose essentially the Mael ending.
I chose the Mael ending as well. To stay in the canvas.
Let Mael stay in the canvas and live an actual life and be selfish.
Yeah, and your justification for doing so was? Mine was that it's Mael's story. Her life in the real world is basically not a life. She can't talk, she's ostracized by her family. And as well, she does promise that she'll leave eventually.
She does. However, the way that it ends made me feel really bad for picking the Mael ending.
I'm happy with that being the ending of the game.
That's the thing. It's I felt so happy for most of the characters, and then it just is but also Verso is just living in eternal torture. And I'm like,
Not eternal, because Mael does make him mortal. Because that's the thing, I like the ending, because it's ambiguous enough where you can read it as positive, where Mael does make Verso mortal, so he will eventually die. It's just that he'll die as he naturally would have before he was taken from Mael, Alicia, in the real world.
Yes, but at the same time, the ending is kind of like Dance Monkey Dance.
The fact that he's crying when he looks at Mael and you see Mael's like got the paint coming from her eyes and you're like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost herself. Ultimately, it's a game about grief.
Yeah, the entire story is just grief, right? And like a family getting over the grief of a lost one. But when you see that moment and it like clicks in my brain of like, oh, Mael's never going to leave.
She's never going to leave.
She promised she would, but she's never going to leave.
The same way the mum promised to. But at the same time, it's a tragic ending for a tragic tale.
And both endings are tragic, to clarify. I went and watched the second ending because I needed to know. I just reloaded my save, did the boss fight again, and was like, okay, yeah. I still am happy with the ending I picked, but also they do a really good job with like essentially the verso ending, right?
Clair Obscur, œuvres infinies, chaque pas trace la route d'une vie.
I'll admit that the verso ending feels like the one that is the better ending. 'Cause I hate when people say the verso ending is the good ending. It's not good or bad. It's entirely relative. It's a story about grief, which is very personal, and it being so personal means that you can't apply right. It can't be good or bad. It can only be what the person wanted in that moment. I hate that people say the verso ending is the good ending. It's not the good ending. It's just the ending that you wanted.
You're still left with a kind of like a family that's doing their best to get over trauma, but Alicia is there, you know, without the ability to speak, doesn't like the way she looks because she was burnt and all that, and like, yeah, she gets to live her life, but she doesn't get to live like the same fun life that she does get to live in the canvas. And that's
the argument, and the canvas is basically indistinguishable from real life to the point where people have been lost in it. My argument would be that Mael's life, or Alicia's life, within the canvas, it's still a life.
Yeah, and I also have the argument to myself, at least, when I went through that ending, is that okay, because the canvas and that world is a world, I do see those people as lives. Like, I do see the likes of Gustav and Lune and Ciel. They are lives to me. Deleting them without thought, it's like, I couldn't justify it.
Especially like Verso, because Verso says, please let me die. And the idea that Mael gives him the ability to age means he will eventually die, but it also means that everyone else in the canvas also has that choice of, it's okay for Verso to be like, please kill me, but it's essentially at that point you're making a sacrifice for the thousands of other people within the canvas of just age. You'll age naturally, and everyone else will similarly at least let them live the end of their life. So I see it as more a sacrifice on Alicia's part, Mael's part, than I do on Verso's part.
It's tough either way, because both endings are not great, which is what I think makes me so intrigued to talk about the ending straight away off the bat like you wanted to.
As well, it's like, it's grief, right? Is there any right way to deal with your grief?
There's not.
And if you saw someone grieving in a particular way, what kind of an arsehole's going to tell them they're grieving the wrong way?
Yeah, because essentially the two endings are, do you, like, you know, essentially deny yourself the satisfaction of getting over the grief and live with it? Or, like, do you get over the grief?
Yeah, well, that's why the two endings, like a life to live or a life to paint. It's like, do you choose to confront your grief and continue to live on, or do you choose to, like, hold on to the past and escape into fantasy?
It's why it's such a fantastic choice of an ending. It's just, there's not a right answer, and you can kind of justify both. I don't come across many game endings like that, where genuinely...
Anyone out there who says one ending is the good ending and another ending is the bad ending is not worth talking to, because that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is, like, it's literally not black or white.
Yeah.
Even though it's trying to be presented as such. So much of the game revolves around, like, light and shadow, dark and light. Literally fucking, like, Clair Obscur, right? It's the chiaroscuro fucking
I was going to say
photography
that's literally what the words Clair Obscur mean, which I guess maybe for people familiar with that term means that they were, like, pre-spoiled a little bit on some of the the themes, but...
The entire game revolves around death. It's obvious it's about grief.
Yes and no. It's immediately obvious that that's a theme, but I didn't realise how much of a driving force it was.
Yeah.
Until, like, I played the New Game Plus and went through it again, and, like, yeah, I mainlined it the second time and was super OP. So it didn't take me very long, but, like, just watching everything occur again
with that
the
knowledge,
clarity and the knowledge of, like, what the themes are, what the ultimate ending is, what the reveals are. It's so throughout, but it's also so throughout in a way that's so well done, because, like, it's not that obvious until you find out more details.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's a game about grief, but you can also interpret it as a game about life.
Yeah.
It's like, overarching plot of the game, Lucas, it's the gommage. Each and every year there's a big fucking number on a mountain in the distance that counts down. Anyone who happens to be above that age when it happens just immediately gets deleted.
Which,
erased from existence.
I will say, the age in Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is that the 33-year-olds are all going to die. And I'm 33 playing this game going, oh no.
There's two ways it's approached in-game by people. Some people see it as they walk towards it like as if they're literally marching towards their own death, where there's other people in the universe who see it as an opportunity to live. I think to like CL, who's had like really fucking harrowing life, but she's the most positive person in your party. Because she's had so much grief and so much tragedy, she chooses to live on and spend the time she has left enjoying herself and with friends and in the company of people she cares about.
I think it's also really interesting as well, like, the difference between her and Lune is a really good, like, clarification of how different people can deal with things, because Lune is, like, so pragmatic and mathematical about everything. It's just that death is an inevitability, let's just get on with things. At this point, you should have clicked off if you're worried about spoilers. The start of their expedition is just that everyone dies, and Lune comes along to, like, help Gustav of, like, we knew this was going to happen. We know we're going to die anyway. So
what does it matter if we die now or in 6 months?
Yeah, you might as well get off your ass and try and do something rather than just die now.
Lune. The others.
I know. We're the only ones left. You don't get to die.
Ultimately, CL, like when you can romance her, I actually really like the romance between her and Verso, where if you try and like make it go further than just having sex, CL says, I don't care about you in that way. If my husband came back tomorrow, I'd immediately leave you, but I'm seeking comfort in the arms of a man.
And even Lune, right? The romance option with her is just, hey, do you want to have a bit of fun?
Yeah.
You're probably going to die anyway.
Because she's basically emotionally dead inside to all the stuff she's dealt with, even though you could argue CL's dealt with more emotionally traumatic stuff, but they're just processed it in different ways, which is what the game's all about.
Lune was brought up with a different type of parent that was, very pragmatic and taught her to be like that.
Yeah, and just
Really
saw her as an extension of themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't even see her as a child. They saw her as, we're going to die at this age, you're going to continue our work.
It's also really interesting of the discussion of, at this point, is having children being responsible anymore? Because
we're effectively birthing children into a world where they're going to grow up without parents.
They're going to grow up without parents, and they're also going to die as teenagers. Because every year the clock goes down by 1, essentially, so the next year everyone will die at 32, and if someone's just born at the year 33, they're going to die at, like 16 or something?
Yeah.
As they cross over. And it's like, but at the same time, the argument could be made that we still need to be trying to stop this happening.
The moment we admit maybe we shouldn't have kids is the moment we've effectively given up. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you're going to die in 10 years, because we've effectively admitted that we're already dead, because we're not living anymore.
It's a fascinating just concept alone, and one that I'm not actually... I don't want to say definitively is like quite a new concept. I've not come across the idea of this before in a world that I've...
We don't often interact with like French Impressionism, or just the fact the game has a tragic ending and there's no like quote unquote good or correct ending. It's just which ending for you allows you to cope with your grief. Coping with grief, fun fact, fucking sucks. It's never going to feel good.
Yeah, there's no right answer. The best you can hope for is that time heals all wounds, and maybe it doesn't.
Some people it doesn't. There's some people out there, I've heard stories about it, of people who are widowed at a young age, don't ever remarry. Some people are able to process their grief and move on.
It's just really refreshing to deal with a game that is willing to have so much to actually say in the narrative. We should, with this being Wiki Weekends, refer to the wiki at some point. I figured I'd just pick Verso because like Verso is a very interesting character that's gone through like, you know, a bunch of different parts of the story, right? And is maybe more aware of what's going on in the canvas than anyone else.
Possibly the most aware person besides his sister.
What, Clair?
Clair, yeah. Like, she's obviously the one who has the most control. I love her story of she, like, they've Clair in the real world. I guess set up, you're in a canvas full of painted facsimiles of real world people that exist to help someone cope with the tragedy of losing a son, because it's the last remnant of that son's soul, Verso's soul. And Clair in the real world was like, fuck that, went into the canvas and painted over herself to make herself into the most badass character in the canvas.
Yeah, and also is there to, like, essentially help kick all of her family out the canvas and kill everyone in it by creating all the monsters in the universe.
But she goes into the canvas, paints over herself, and makes herself the strongest character in the entire game.
And then just pieces out and is like, I've got bigger things to deal with.
Yeah.
We're having a war out here. Which, again,
they never talk about it.
They don't. They do talk about it a little bit, obviously, but there's a war
hinted.
between painters and writers in the real world. But that's about as much as we know, and it's like, oh, I want to know so much about this world.
Also, the fact that Clair is strong enough to go in, paint over someone else's creation, and her creation is so strong that all she's going to do is, I'm just going to keep making the strongest monsters in the game until eventually they kill everyone. And at which point, it doesn't matter if the canvas is here or not, because everyone in it's dead.
Yeah, at which point I will have essentially rescued my family out of the canvas and got them to stop obsessing with the loss of Verso, and instead focus on the fucking war I'm fighting over here.
Okay, so how much did you flip your shit when you fought as a boss battle?
I saw it coming at that point, but
What means, like, when you're like,
she just
how
summons...
tough is she? How tough can she possibly be?
She literally summons, like, the 4 toughest enemies in the game that aren't super bosses to just come and absolutely wreck you all at once.
Who's your favourite boss, then?
I think my favourite... I cannot remember the name of it now, but it has to be, like, the ballet dancer one.
Oh, Serene.
Serene, that's it. Yeah, I think that's... In terms of just the music and the beauty of that scene and that environment...
Oh, it's a work of art.
It's staggering how many times I went into a new portion of the game and was just staggered by its beauty. And this game, I think, speaks to us a lot, because it's also very Final Fantasy VIII coded.
Oh, yeah. Like all of reality is being compressed and threatened to be destroyed by the Paintress, which you might as well say she's the sorceress. She just controls paint instead of magic.
Got a lot of Final Fantasy VIII vibes, which we both have, like, a special spot for.
Yes, I have a fondness for Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, and well, we both enjoy a lot of Final Fantasy games, but yeah, like a big fan of VIII. I love the fact that the person who plays Verso, Ben Starr, just constantly talks about how Final Fantasy VIII is his favourite Final Fantasy, and I'm like, yes, vindication! Verso is one of the main protagonists and is a mirror version of Verso de Sondre, painted by the Paintress in the world of the canvas. And he is the estranged son of Renoir and the brother of Alicia and Clair. How did you feel when Renoir just rocks up on that beach?
I think just straight away, because like so much of that initial prologue is there's no one over the age of 30, and then like this 60-year-old man rocks up, and immediately I'm like hooked of
what the fuck is going on?
There's a story hook. Arriving at the beach where everyone who's ever gone here, he's never heard from ever again, and immediately you're confronted by a guy in his 60s, and I'm like, oh, so is he from a previous expedition? And then he just fucking slaughters everyone in his second one. It's like, oh, fuck.
Which expedition are you from?
Fall back! The second one is just like, he just like decapitates a guy, and it's like, I spent the first 30 minutes getting to know people that are going to get annihilated second one.
I also appreciate that, though, because it meant that I didn't realise who was going to be in my party. As I was going through the game, I was wondering what other members of Expedition 33 am I going to bump into, because so many of them get so much characterisation prior to that moment. I legit did not know who was going to be part of my party. Like Lune,
Yeah.
she's just the person playing the guitar initially. I didn't realise she was a main party member, because...
Yeah, I think CL's just like a performer in the street or something
Exactly.
like
And there's other people you interact with more in the initial prologue that immediately get murked, or you don't know their inevitable fate.
that. It's another storyteller trope that, frustrates a lot of people, right? Of knowing who's got plot armor because they get given all the time. And it's like, no, they just introduce a bunch of people that you get half an hour with and you don't know which one's alive or dead, because half of them
Except
just
for
get
Mael.
done
Mael
second
gets
one.
way too much play.
Obviously Mael, yeah. But, I mean, even talking about the fact that the main character dies.
Yeah.
Our main playable character actually dies.
Straight up. As well, it's fucking brutal as well. Like, So I was thinking, this is it. I love this trope in games where it's like, it's the unbeatable super boss, and they're gonna like knock you out, and you're gonna come back and fight him later. Just Gustav fucking just gets murked.
You get that moment later with Verso, right? Where she essentially is like, so you knew. You did nothing? You get the moment as Verso as a playable character, like, do you tell the truth or not? And I told the truth, I don't know whether you did.
Yeah.
Verso just admits, yeah, I could have stopped that happening, but it wouldn't have pushed you to my agenda.
Yep, I
I'm
needed you
sorry.
to be annoyed at Renoir and want to kill him.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have done that if you didn't kill Gustav.
And again, it's really interesting because we talk about how this is a game of grief. It's really interesting as Verso as a character because he's trying to make everything end because, like, he just wants to be able to die.
You can understand as well when he talks about, hey, I've helped every expedition prior to yours, and no matter what I do, every single one of them has died. They've all failed. You can understand why after 60 straight failed expeditions.
So I think
Like,
it starts
why
at
would-
100, right?
Yeah, why would he give a fuck if Gustav dies? Like, have you any idea how many other Gustavs I've met?
But the point is that obviously Mael is the adopted sister of Gustav, essentially. And she's like, okay, but did you really need to let my brother die? You could have talked to me about this. And again, it's how it all of the characters are flawed, and it makes it so interesting because, like,
None of them are perfect. They all make mistakes. They own those mistakes.
it's not that Verso is correct in that moment or that Mael is, because Mael doesn't know that she would necessarily go through with killing her mother and father if she didn't have the motivation to do so with Gustav dying. Also, at the same time, Verso doesn't know that he actually needed to let Gustav die. He kind of needs to let Mael have enough fury in her heart to go through with it all.
And that's the question there, is like, was Gustav right to make that decision? Or was Verso right to make that decision on Gustav's behalf? Would Gustav have made that decision knowing? Because I think he would have. I think if Gustav was told that, of like, hey, would you sacrifice yourself and Mael to live? He'd be like, absolutely 100%. Which is what he does. He sacrificed himself for Mael.
Then there's the double twist, right, of, well, Verso was actually lying to us all along and actually was just doing it all for selfish reasons.
Yep. And are his selfish reasons any better than Mael's selfish reasons?
Would, like, all of the expedition agreed to go along with Verso if he was honest and told them, hey, I want this canvas erased and we all need to die.
Yeah, you're effectively all marching towards your death. Like, would they be willing to do that knowing that they die for the sake of a person they've just met? Verso as well. So what's your problem? Oh, I'm cursed to live forever in this fantasy world. Oh, what's the fantasy world? Oh, it's the world I created as a child that specifically has me be the main character and be the most special, perfect boy.
But at the same time, he's lived long enough that immortal world and that immortal life has become a living nightmare.
That's the curse of immortality, isn't it? Immortality sounds great until you realise you're going to outlive everyone you ever loved or cared about.
Especially in a world where, like, your father is killing a bunch of them every year.
Yeah, like every year you make a bunch of new friends, and every year your dad comes in and fucking murks them all.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the best life at that point.
It doesn't, no. And that's like, it lends to the tragedy of the game and the narrative. And I guess just like, since we've gone full spoilers and we talked like Verso being a remnant of the original Verso soul, what's your fate, like going back through the game with the knowledge that that's what the world is?
Yeah.
What was your favourite detail that you picked up on?
To me, it was actually just how many things or references to, like, paint without me really picking up on it.
Okay.
I should have seen it, and it's one of those things of, like, the moment you know, you're like, of course. Like,
Yeah, I feel like such an idiot for not noticing
I
this.
felt like such an idiot. But, like, the fact that all the gestrels are just big paintbrushes. How did I not notice that? But why would I leap to that conclusion?
The one for me is Francois. Do you encounter Francois? Also, can we give a shout out to Francois' introduction of like where you're talking to SK, and he's like, well, let me guess, you've got to go across like a big giant like mountain and
Francois
across all these like dangerous Neverons. Like, no, Francois, through there.
The one known as Francois.
Okay.
Let me guess, Francois is located deep in Nevron-infested territory, right?
Oh no. He's right next door. Over there.
Oh.
Francois is my neighbor.
Francois is Clair's creation for when Verso and her were kids. Mm-hmm. And when you know that Francois is Clair's like creation, that she's not as creative as Verso, when you fight Francois, it's like, oh, he does strongest ice attack ever, and he fucking annihilates your entire party. And it's really funny. But when you play through the game again, it's like, you imagine a child playing with a turtle, like, it's a rock. No, it's a turtle. Also, he's got the strongest ice attack ever. It's like, that's such a kid thing to do. And I didn't pick up on it until I played through the game. I went, oh, yeah, 'cause this is Esky is Verso's toy. Francois is his sister's toy, and they're play fighting.
And I think maybe my favourite thing that you can miss quite maybe easily. I'm not sure. I played through a lot of the game. I don't know how missable it is, but the fact that Monoko, do you know who Monoko is?
No, it's his dog, yeah.
It's his dog.
It's his dog, and that's why he's loyal, and
That's why he's loyal, that he loves play fighting with him, that Monoko's obsessed with, like, the legs.
bones. Is a dog
bones,
obsessed with
yeah.
dog giving him a bone, yeah.
It's a little fairy guy that loves to play and fight.
Like SK, like, oh, SK's super powerful. Almost to the point where he seems broken. It's like, because it's a little kid who made him, and a little kid.
It's just a toy that the kid was like, oh, he's the most powerful thing in the universe.
And the reason his powers seem so bullshit and made up, and it's like, oh, you give him a fucking rock and he can fly? Yeah, because that's a little kid go, oh, he gets the rock of flight and now he can fly. Because that's what little kids do when they're play fighting and pretending and creating stories and narratives. Oh, it's so good!
It's the world that Verso created as a child, and it's the bullshit weird things are in there because he was a kid.
Like I said, when Francois' like strongest ice attack ever, you can picture a little kid going, he uses the strongest ice attack ever. It's like, what does that mean? No, it instantly kills you in one hit because it's the strongest ice attack ever. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, but if that's how the creator says it works, that's how it works.
Obviously, we've got to give a shout out to good old Simon.
Oh, fucking like, what, just fucking God be Simon?
Anyone that's unaware of who Simon is, they are like a secret super boss within the game. They are the secret boss that will whoop your ass, then have a second phase, whoop your ass even more. Then has a secret third phase that whoops your ass even more. Oh, it's such a difficult but amazing boss fight.
And I love that he breaks the rules of the game. But he breaks the rules of the game in a way that makes sense to the world as created. Of straight, if the second one of your character dies, is like, okay, they're deleted. No revives, fuck you.
It's so brutal. When you, okay, I've got this. Like, I can just heal, deleted. What do you mean deleted? And then, like, there's a moment right in the boss fight where phase 3 insta-wipes your party, so you've got to have not fully died yet.
Yeah, so the way the game play works in Expedition 33 is once you get party wiped, the rest of the party run in, and you can, like, okay, this is the... And I love what it says, the last stand of Expedition 33. If
so
you've already
good.
had that happen before he gets to phase 3, Simon just deletes your party. And the first time that happened, I lost my shit. Also, as well, the fact that, like, okay, when you first attack, okay, is he that tough? Okay, Simon attacks at light speed, and he does like a 32-hit combo that you got to perfect parry. When he goes to second phase, and he does Simon attacks at faster than light speed, and now all of his sword swings hit twice.
I was going to say, he does a second hit on every hit.
In his phase 3, he hits 3 times with every attack, and you have to perfect parry like 64 times in a row. It's like, what is this character?
Not today.
And obviously, it's an optional super boss. It's meant to be bullshit. Like,
But no wonder, like, Clair's like, this is the man for me.
this is the guy.
Like, what's the most stupid thing that you parried that you think, yeah, I parried that? And why is it when, like, the paintress says, the paintress tries to end the world and you, like, parry?
Oh, yeah. Just parry it. It's like, oh, I love the fact that just, like, everything can be parried. Like, you can't dodge everything, but if you get your parry game down, it's like, no, I'll have none of this.
The
Sorry.
idea as well that, like, Mael, I love when she says parry it. I love, like, the little voice lines you get, and Mael's like, parry it! And it's like, the paintress is summoning fucking meteors from space, like, parry it, you fucking casual. Mael would go back and look at the dinosaurs, like, why don't they just parry it?
I think a really cool move is from the paintress where she does those, like, meteors in, like, the clockwork fashion.
Yes.
And it's like the do. And that's the thing is the game relies so much on, like,
Rhythm.
A, rhythm, but B, audio cues. It fakes you out so much visually with so many attacks from difficult enemies, but the audio's always there.
It's to the point where there's some of the boss fights where I close my eyes to get the timing down for some attacks. Like when I fought Simon, when he did his light speed attack, I closed my eyes to parry it because just the shh, 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 shh is so much less distracting than the visuals.
Yeah, I really got to that with, like, I think it's like the Duel East, where visually
that's such a fun fight.
They threw me off so much visually, but the audio, I could just close my eyes and be like, duh, 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 parry, 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 parry. If you can't tell, we fucking love this game. And
It's great.
it's one of the best games, best RPGs I've played in a long time in terms of the world, the characters, the story, the soundtrack. Like, I cannot give this game enough credit.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, are you familiar with the parry it meme?
Don't think so.
Send it to you on Discord.
Oh, right, okay. Jesus Christ.
But she just parry anything.
And that's also one of the perks of that character, right? Is that if you're good enough at parrying, you can just make builds with the characters around parrying, especially Mael. Like, Mael becomes broken if you can parry everything.
One of the few criticisms I've got for the game is the fact that while there is a lot of build variety, some of the stuff is not as powerful as other things. And I'm looking forward to that update they're releasing, where they're going to add new bosses, new areas, and new weapons and, like, Pictos. Because I just want more build variety.
Exactly, yeah. It would be nice to have more options for the really broken builds, because there's a couple for each character, but most of them feel like a little bit underwhelming.
Like, for example, with Mael, Burn is just the only...
Yeah.
You only want to, like, go into a Burn, parry Mael build if you want to do damage. Same with, like, Lune, of you just go straight into, like, the fucking world destruction, like, all 4 elements at once thing, because it just does so much more damage than any other option. I'd like it to be more options for other playstyles.
It is great to get to that point, though, because there's...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unless you're just Googling best builds, like, there is so much discovery over time of, like, as I got to Simon in New Game Plus, which, by the way, I don't recommend. I missed him in my first playthrough, and New Game Plus version is horrific. But as I was trying to push myself further and further with builds, I realised, like, oh, I can, like, do X and Y to, like, make my, I can't remember what they're called now, the, like, extra points go up, like, out of 3. I can't remember the name of them, but...
but the thing you use to, like, attack.
Use the ones that you use to, like, do, like, the super moves, like Gamage and things like that. And just, like, every turn, I had Mael using Gamage again and again and again to just cut people out of the canvas. Another criticism of the game is just the menuing in general.
Menuing, The menus look beautiful, but I wish there was a bit more clarity on where your cursor is, for example.
Which I think they've done like one update, and presumably they may be doing more because they are doing a big update soon at some point.
Which I'm very much looking forward to. I hope they release it near Christmas so I can just replay the game at Christmas time.
I really hope so, but they didn't clarify on a time frame. I think they just said like soonish. I think they said it was going to be a free update because they were like, this game was way more successful than we ever hoped. Thank you so much. Here's a gift. We're going to give you a massive update.
Yeah, and I just hope that update includes just new ways to interact with the game. I'd love, like I said, people aren't familiar with lateral progression. Normal progression in a video game is the number goes up. Lateral progression is that you get a new way to interact with the game. So think something like Borderlands, where you sometimes get like abilities or unlocks that don't necessarily give you more damage with a particular weapon or playstyle. They just offer a new way to interact with the world. Like maybe they make your grenades act in a different way, or you can now build around ricochets or a specific elemental infusion.
In terms of like builds that you can use to just beat the game's not overly difficult, at least for experienced turn-based RPG players like you or myself. I want to say, like, I don't want to write off people that find the game difficult, but we both enjoy parrying, we both enjoy building. You can
just set it to easy mode, though.
You can put it on easy mode, exactly, and you can also make the timing on like dodges and parrying easier as well. I want to ensure people you can play the game however you want. Not every build's going to be broken, but nearly every build that you want to have fun with is going to get you to the end of the game on easy. Like,
I just wish that a lot more of those fun builds were like viable in endgame. Like, you can fight Simon with any build, but it's going to be fucking a real slog if you've not got a parry build.
Yeah, if you don't lean into like learning all of just parrying every single attack and making that work in your build. Like, it got to the point where I was just like, because Simon also, as another fuck you, also often just sets your life to 1.
Yeah, it's a point where, like, which I only accept is the super boss.
I only accept that if it's an optional super boss, but like at that point I went, why am I even leaning into having any health at all? Why don't I lean into having no health?
It doesn't matter, like, whether I've got 1 HP or 1,000 HP, it doesn't fucking matter because I die in 1 hit anyway.
Well, Simon's just going to put you at 1 HP anyway, and you've got a perk that makes you hit harder at 1 HP. So why not just lean into it? And it's like, for Simon, there's very, very specific builds you have to kind of aim for, which I would like to see expanded if they can.
I just like if there was more of those, like busted builds, if you min-maxed into them, or like, you know, chose to interact with the game in that way, or if they just offered weapons that had like new lateral progression that allowed more interesting, unique interactions.
Don't want to end on a note of like just hating on the game. Well, not hating on the game, but just talking about how maybe it could be improved.
A minor criticism.
I can't talk more about how good like every character in the game is, because it's a game that's written well enough where I can argue on behalf of every single person's motivations.
Yes, not to mention as well, like, every character is a fucking 10 on 10 design, and we've got to give a shout out. I think the hardest I laughed playing a game this year is where I beat a mime. So I'm like, okay, I'm fighting a fucking mime in this game. I knew it was French, I didn't know it was that French. Beat the mime, unlock new outfit, baguette. Like, the fuck's that? Equip it to my character, and it's the striped top with the fucking beret and a literal baguette on my character's back.
If the developers weren't French, you'd call it a hate crime. It's so just stereotypically French, but I love it. And I love the fact that that has become the community's cosplay of like...
default outfit, yeah. If someone wants to cosplay Lune, they don't cosplay regular Lune. It's beret Lune with the sunglasses and the beret, and it's so fucking good.
What a cheap, cool, easy cosplay to like celebrate this cool game as well, right? It's like,
just get a beret and a stripy shirt and an ascot.
All of the outfits are like so highly detailed, doing like an expedition, actual Expedition 33 costume that's like their default costume. That's gonna be such a difficult cosplay to put together and very expensive. But fuck it, buy a cheap beret and a striped shirt, you're done.
And we have to give shout-outs to that panel the cast did where they all wore that outfit. I burst out laughing when it's like, oh, here's all the voice actors for the game, and they're all just wearing fucking berets and stripy tops and ascots.
I love, obviously, Charlie Cox not in the game as much and like has just kind of sat on the sidelines with this. But
his reasoning for not being as big a part of the marketing is like, I don't feel as I put as much of myself into this game as the other people did, so I'd feel bad taking credit from them, even if it's... I wouldn't see it that way, but I can understand why he would.
I can understand his justification for it, yeah. He's like, I came in one day. It was just another job for me, like everyone else. That, as you say, they poured their heart into this project. For him, it doesn't mean as much, and it's not to say that he doesn't enjoy being in the game or enjoy the project and like the game or anything like that. He's just like, I don't feel like I deserve as much credit as the rest of the cast.
Also, as well, like, he's already a famous, established actor. By him taking that step away from it, it allows the other voice performers, who are fucking phenomenal, to receive credit. 'Cause if he was there at all the events, you know all the people are going to be taking photos of him, asking him the main questions. Yeah. Him not going to them means people are asking the other people who've not had a chance to, or maybe not enjoyed as much success as he has. So I really appreciate that as well.
For example, I saw, I can't remember what Game Awards it was recently, but it was not
Golden
the
Joysticks.
Game Awards. It was Golden Joysticks where...
Yeah, I just looked it up for you now, yeah.
Jennifer English just won an award. And it's like, yeah, they deserve it. It kind of sucks that, like, Charlie Cox was one of the nominations for the Game Awards as Best Performers. I don't think he's a big enough part of the game to necessarily get that over other people, either in the game or in other games that are, you know, in the whole game. Still a very good performance. I just think, like, maybe people nominated him because he's a big name.
Also, as well, his performance is very good. His performance as Gustav is fucking incredible.
It's very
just
good.
Just because his performance was shorter than other people's doesn't detract from the actual quality of it.
No, it doesn't, but I just feel
that's why I give shout to the guy who does Eski. I think he's got one of the best performances in the entire game.
True. Like
he legit has some of my favourite lines.
Eski is, like, fantastic. And again, it just makes it so much more fun when you find out, like, all of the details, right? Of, like, him just being a toy and it's, hey, Eski, why can you just have an unlimited resource of wine stuck inside of you? And it's like, because he's an imaginary toy. Like, he's just a toy that got painted to life.
We talked about it in, like, the non-spoiler episode we did of, it would have been so easy for him to be an annoying character.
Oh,
and he's
so
not.
easy. Yeah.
Like, I think within, like, 30 seconds, when he first appeared on screen, I went, oh, God, I don't want this character coming back. He's really annoying. And then he just went, Francois. I went, that's it, perfect. I want one in my party.
Bonjour, mes amis.
It's so good. And, like, that's the... I can understand Maëlle and the mother wanting to, like... Aline wanting to, like, stay in the painting and live with Verso and still have the son/brother and have that memory of them. But then I also understand the Renoir and Clair of, like, no, fuck you, this needs to end, we need to move on. Like,
that's the beauty of the game, isn't it? Of everyone processes the grief in a different way, and even if you don't agree with it, you can understand it. Are you really going to sit there and tell, like, a grieving mother that I think you spent enough time being sad that your son fucking died? It's like, no.
You can understand that in, like, Clair and Renoir's eyes, that, like, hey, you need to move on, it will be healthier for you. But also you can understand Aline's side of the story of, like, let me grieve in my way. And it's like,
yeah.
But it's, in their eyes, it's not a healthy way of grieving, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's a really complicated subject matter, and it doesn't have a correct answer, which is why it's such an interesting tale.
It's no doubt as well why it's caused so much argument online. I imagine there'll be people in our comments who are very, very... They either agree with us or disagree with us, and I imagine there's some people out there who literally cannot understand our reasoning for picking the endings that we did.
I'm at least glad that we aligned and we didn't have to end our friendship over the
We did
Maëlle
joke
ending.
that if, like, we didn't know the ending either of us picked prior to this video, and I did joke before we started recording, is this the end of Wiki Weekends?
Like,
if we disagree live on camera?
Are we gonna disagree so badly over which ending to pick that, yeah, we jokingly said it.
Even if Lucas picked the alternate ending, I would be like, I disagree with your reasoning, but I can understand why you picked that. I said, it's a very personal subject, and that's the beauty of, like, you know, games as an active medium in regards to their narrative, of course it's going to affect you more because you're literally pressing the buttons that lead to the decision. Why would it not be a more personal choice? And I'm not going to disagree with someone's personal choice, as long as they can explain why they made it.
Let me sit in my painting, Karl. Let me bring Gustav back. We've talked before about like movies with ambiguous endings and like how some people get really frustrated of the fact that I want to know what the end actually means, and I think it would be less powerful if there was a perfect ending to the story.
Yeah, I also think as well, like, I've talked to people who interpret the Mael ending as, it's not that she's becoming like a mum, she's crying, but because obviously she's so powerful, she cries pain. And if so, that's not the interpretation of that I have, but I can understand why people would have that interpretation to continue seeing it as a quote-unquote happy ending. Not the good ending, a happy ending for the character.
Also, you can interpret it as, like, clearly Verso is not happy at the end. However...
Oh yeah, that's completely unambiguous. He hates that he's still alive. He wants to die.
At the same time, it's the one way he has ever got to be appreciated for his music rather than his painting, which ultimately was his goal in life. His parents denied him of that, and the one thing he wanted to do was make music. There's a glimpse of happiness. There's like that silver lining of like, at very least, he's unhappy, but he gets to live a life where someone appreciates his music.
And that's the thing as well, how many among us, is there anyone out there who can really say they'd be strong enough to like throw away the last memory of a loved one? Especially if that last memory
lasted to like live with all your loved ones forever, would you throw that away? And like,
well, think about it, Lucas. Right? If you had an heirloom, I'm not sure if you do, but if you had an heirloom of a loved one, would you be able to throw that heirloom away?
Probably
it's
not.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to do something like that. I'd be too attached to it. And then if someone came up to you and told no, it's healthy, you need to move on, you need to throw that away. It's like, but why? It doesn't hurt anybody, but it does. You spend too much time. It's like, but who are you to tell me how to spend my time, my grief? We're going in circles.
Yeah, we are at this point.
Play the fucking game.
I mean, I would hope that you've played the game at this point.
Play it again.
I actually think it's a really, as I say, to just be over-leveled and do New Game Plus and blitz through and just find a lot of, like, the things that you missed the first time. It's super interesting. Either way, at least play it once.
Play it once and... Yeah,
like, if people can't tell of us gushing over it for an hour, my god, this video game.
What a video game. And then when you're done, put the soundtrack on. And don't scroll on your phone. Don't look up to it. Like, just sit down, put the soundtrack on, and lie down on your sofa or in your bed and just give it a listen. And then when you go to the club, you play like that thumping techno song that comes out of nowhere on the soundtrack.
It's like Goblu's boss song, I think it is. Yeah.
Which fucking that song came out of nowhere. I think that's when I messaged you.
Yeah.
So I think I was playing through the games. Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then I sent you a message like the Danny DeVito "I get it now" meme because I got to the Goblu fight and I heard the thumping techno and was like, "This is it."
This is the game soundtrack that made me go, maybe I should get into vinyls.
I should buy this.
So I don't have a vinyl player yet, but one day
you got the vinyl.
I've got the vinyl. I only bought like the two vinyl.
I'm mad jealous that you've got that.
I didn't buy the ridiculously expensive like 8 vinyl version.
The thing is though, that's going to look super classy though when you have that, because people are going to think you're really fancy. Like, oh, that's like he's listening to classical music, then the Goblu theme will start and you'll start dancing around.
Yeah.
Welcome to Luke's doghouse. Let's go.
Oh no, not the doghouse.
Get those little piggies out.
Oh, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this discussion, maybe think about heading over to our Patreon where you can vote for more of our videos each month to discuss. And yeah, just if not, maybe like, subscribe, check out our Discord, all those good things. But I hope you all have a lovely day.
Yeah, hell yeah. See everyone soon.
Oh, what a funny story. Thank you, Karl or Lucas.
Oh, no, don't. Oh yeah, we're reacting to the content we just made. I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? So this is the section of the video where we give a shout out to our big PPs. That is our code we use for our Patreon producers over on our Patreon.
It is indeed. And I somehow got swindled into this with you just improvising the big PP out of nowhere.
Do you know what? Yeah, I made an executive decision. Went, we're going to call our Patreon producers the funniest possible acronym, the PPs. He's doing his dab in. He's bringing it back. I'm showing our age. Lucas is hitting the sickest dab you've ever seen.
So for the first shout out, we've got to give a thanks to Daddy Grunt and Karl. Can you
We make the joke every time of... I like to put fun clips in for each person who supports us as a big PP. What's your favourite effort from a video game?
Oh, I was going to say, who's your favourite daddy?
Who's my favourite daddy? Ooh. I'd say my dad. My dad's not been doing well recently, so I'll say like shout outs to my dad.
We can't put a clip in of your dad.
No, but I can give him a shout out in a video. No one's going to stop me.
Shout out, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, shout outs to Karl's dad. Yeah.
So cheers to Daddy Grunt and cheers to Papa Smallwood.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
The elder Smallwood. At that point, he's the big wood, isn't
he? He's become the giant oak.
He has indeed, yes. But the next person to shout out is a person who's been supporting our content for a while now, and they seemingly want to see me suffer by taking a gauntlet I threw down many years ago, dipping in a bit of dog poo and slapping me across the chops, because they always submit their Patreon producer name in a language I do not speak. I believe Nahuatl. So I'm going to give it my best shot now. So, Tinakui, Horshata, Octilane, Tomi, Sema, Sikapatia, Ta, Zemo, Tek Pacho, Nitla, Machtia, Ipan, Kolta, Machtiployan, and then they have parentheses, you said a different la. Because they got cut off by
the character limit
over on Patreon. And you know what? I'm reaching my fucking limit with these pronunciations.
I keep throwing Karl to that one specifically because I'm like,
go on, explain this.
You are the one that threw down the mantle of fuck it, make it a different language, I'll do it.
And so behind the scenes, me and Lucas said, okay, what order are we going to go in for these shout-outs? And Lucas always mysteriously picks the order where I have to say the hard-to-pronounce names.
No, I don't. I specifically always just say, which one does Tinukui Horchata come into? Give Karl that one, because you're the one who threw down that gauntlet.
We're supposed to be in this together. I threw the gauntlet down, did not tell Lucas, and then someone picked it up and just like, do you like the boxing glove arrow from like Green Lerma arrow? And just hits me across the face. But you know they dip it in dog poo first.
But I don't get off much better with the next one because I've got to translate emojis into words apparently.
Go for it.
So we have the Burning Dragon here with I'd guess like a big eye face, an uwu face, a little mustache face, and then maybe a happy face throwing a table at a very concerned face in emojis.
Very good. Giant eye, dead fish, cat head, guy doing this.
As I often joke, our fans are now submitting to us their names in hieroglyphics. And hoping we know how to pronounce them, which just makes me appreciate another long-time supporter, Rosalindis Memphis, all the more. They've been steadfast. They've been steadfast in both their support and what they want to be referred to in this section of the videos, and I very much appreciate that.
And I'm guessing we still have more of the Memphis song list to go through at this point to put clips in.
Oh, I found a Nightcore cover that Mark Cohen won't copyright strike. Because I had to make it slightly more Nightcore, because I like to put in clips that we can like slot in the shout-outs to our big PPs in. And for Rosalindis Memphis, I keep trying to put in a clip from Mark Combs walking in Memphis, and I found a Nightcore cover that I additionally sped up to make it even more Nightcore.
That is a song I would have never expected to have a Nightcore version of.
There's a Nightcore version of everything, Lucas.
That's true.
Like, Nightcore is for... They're still making it. There's still people out there making Nightcore.
Just the heroes. But speaking of...
That's correct, yeah. There's not people out there. There's fucking legends out there still making Nightcore covers.
But speaking of other heroes, Karl, we do have to thank Kick and Bucket, another hero who... Again, we don't mind that people are changing their names to make it more difficult for us. We do still encourage it. I know that we make the joke of like, how dare you? But we still encourage you to just make it difficult for us because it's funny for content, right?
Yeah, like some people, some members of our audience like shooting us in the backs of the knees and watching us crawl over broken glass.
And I appreciate that we've been getting support from Kick and Bucket.
Feels good.
who has not decided to do that. They've just, again, kept it simple. But yeah, I would say to people who are watching this, who are like, man, they really don't like that we're making it difficult. It's like, we do. We're just trying to make this fun.
Another element that plays into it is that we personally feel bad if we can't pronounce the name, because then the person isn't getting the proper credit we feel they deserve. It is indeed, yes. And the next person we move on to, another long-time supporter. We know this because they say in their name, which is Be of Awesome, this month marks 1 year of Patreon support. Here's to another. Cheers, beer glass emoji. Clink, beer glass emoji. And I'm not drinking because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but tink!
I mean, I'm drinking some squash, but yeah, clink. Yeah.
I thought you were going to smash that into your camera then. Like you smash it into your camera and then just like smash cut to me and you like in our Discord being like, look guys, we need some more Patreon support because Lucas has no camera.
I need another 500 quid for a camera, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the equipment, people probably think like, these videos look real cheap, the equipment's not cheap.
Yeah, no. No, unfortunately not.
It's because those fact-themed coffers were pretty deep back in the day, eh?
Allowance day, ding, 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 ding.
You don't deserve an allowance.
Sure we do. Ding, 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 ding.
Ice cream man, ice cream man.
But the next person we have to thank that also is helping pay towards those expensive equipment costs is Ghost, Little Ghost, Ghost. And those ghosts are little emojis.
That's
so
my
you.
favourite nursery rhyme. Ghost, little ghost.
Ghost. He actually runs off the tongue pretty well.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice little ditty, that.
Yeah.
Ghost, little ghost, little ghost. Try and say it like 5 times fast. Ghost, little ghost, little ghost, little ghost. I like it. You put a bit of Nightcore behind that. We've got the makings of a song. We've got the makings of a smash hit there.
Do we have the rights to that, or does Little Ghost?
Well, they'll get a producer's credit.
The PP credit.
Yeah, they get a big PP, and they'll be credited on the album as a big PP. But someone else we need to credit is Split Screen, and their name in full is Split Screen asks, would pharaohs think Anubis girls and Curse of Ra are peak? Lucas, you're more online than I am. What is an Anubis girl, and are we going to have to edit this because it's a thing we can't put a clip in or picture of?
So I'm not fully sure, because I googled the term Anubis girl, and the first thing that came up was a fandom of the House of Anubis category females. So it might be the women from the House of Anubis. It may just be girls that look like the fictional mythical character Anubis. I'm not 100% sure. And then the Pharaoh's Curse seems to just be like the curse of Ra. And it seems to like be like memes which involve like Egyptian curses of people being like covered in sand.
Yeah, is anybody out there more online than myself or Lucas who can explain this reference to us? Because I don't get it. If they're talking like just girls doing cosplay as Anubis, I'm all on board with that, but I don't think that's what this is. What is it? A group of 8 teenagers who live together in a Anubis house that serves a boarding house, an elite boarding school in the United Kingdom. It is based on the Dutch and German show Het Huis Anubis. Get all the seasons on iTunes.
On iTunes?
That's enough internet for today.
Yeah,
that's enough internet today. And the last person to shout out someone has a nice, simple name that I'm hoping I'm not going to mispronounce, which is Ranma Sawatame. So thank you very much to Ranma Sawatame for not making me have to look up a wiki on a... I might have to watch this show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was also my shout out, but yeah, sure, we've just been twisted
Do I
around.
want to go to the Anubis verse?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's what they're referring to.
Is it?
But yeah.
I'm so sorry, Ranma Sawatame. It's like, there's like, just, you got Anubis.
Yeah, no, shout out to Ranma Sawatame, who was meant to be my shout out, and I think Karl just got a bit flustered.
I'm Ranma Sawatame. Sorry about this.
I got flustered by the Anubis verse. Jerome Clark is the main character. He lives at Anubis house. He's a prankster who always has tricks up his sleeves.
Anyway, I hope that Karl can find a very good clip for Ranma Sawatame to round out this one and not just like get absolutely dunked on by some Anubis girls.
Internet, help us.
Internet, please.
In more ways than one, you can also support us on Patreon and like send us down more weird internet rabbit holes if that is your goal.
If that is your goal, we have to look this up. We do. Thank you for your support, everyone.
This is going to be an entire afternoon of Googling for me, Lucas. 1,352 articles.
Thank you all for your support. Karl's going on a weird rabbit hole right now. We appreciate you all, and yeah, thank you for the month of support.